So we have just arrived in Cape Town and we're only here for literally one night, and so we're definitely going to make the most of it and we're going to have a blast. Literally jam pack as much as we can, as many activities as we can in literally one day. And if you guys are wondering why we're only going for one day, we paid 10 Rand for these flights, and so we could only get the return flight for the one day. So in making most of the time, we flew down early on Saturday morning and will only fly back late on Sunday evening. We've just arrived at the Atlantis sand dunes, and we can definitely start seeing some sort of sand dune like things. We've never been here before, so we don't know what to expect, but we booked this in the week and we're super excited. We're a little bit early actually, so I think we're going to walk around a little bit.
That's the smallest one.
I got a small head.
Pass it on.
Let's go. So when deciding on the activities that we were going to do for this day, I thought I would channel my inner Paul Atreides. And although I didn't do the Fremen sand walk or ride a sandworm, the quad bikes were a close second. Just picture the sandworm and you'll be fine. Okay, you must think I'm a bit crazy, but at least now you know exactly what was going on in my mind as we were riding the quad bikes around the sand dunes. It was honestly such a cool experience. We had a tour guide with us and he showed us around the sand dunes, and then we had a little bit of time to just play around in the sand with the quad bikes ourselves. I must say that this location was great because you not only got to see these awesome sand dunes, but you also had a whole profile view of Cape Town with Table Mountain in the back. Naturally, we had to stop and take a picture with the mountain in the background, and although I couldn't film all of it whilst we were actually moving on the quad bikes, there were times when we were just completely surrounded by these white sand dunes. Yeah, we literally just finished. It was so much fun. There was a few, like I couldn't film everything, but there was a shot of us going on the quad bikes. But literally there was a time going over a dip. It was like a little bit sketchy, hey? It was a little bit scary.
You go at faster speed that you can.
Yeah, so at times like you feel like you're going a bit out of control. But yeah, it was so much fun. I'd highly recommend it actually to anyone. That like there was some really amazing sights and views as we were doing the dunes, so yeah, definitely worth it. It's currently about ahead 11, and so far we have landed, gotten a car, driven all the way out here, done the sand dunes, and there is still a full day ahead of us, so we're really making the most of it. But let's see what's next. We're thinking now, seeing as we're all the way out, we are going to stick to this side. It's also a half marathon today, and so we don't want to go into the sort of city centre just yet. We are going to go get some sort of lunch, early brunch, I guess, yeah, brunch, at a really nice restaurant in Melkbos Blobergstrand side. We've been there before and the food is really good, and so we're going to go get something there. We actually ate breakfast at like 5 this morning, and usually we intermittent fast until 11, so I don't know if my body is just now thinking it's 11, now I'm hungry, but yeah, no, we're actually hungry, so this is usually why I don't have breakfast so early in the morning, because I just get hungry anytime. But seeing as we're here, we're going to go get some breakfast, brunch.
Do not stop till nightfall.
What about breakfast?
We've already had it.
We've had one, yes. What about second breakfast? Livinsies, luncheon, afternoon tea, dinner, supper. He knows about them, doesn't he?
So on our way to hunt down some lunch, we didn't have to drive far and we found ourselves in Melkbosstrand. It's close to lunch.
Yeah, I love.
But there's still enough time for me to have one last coffee for the day. So let's go. One of the things I was actually saying to George was sometimes you come on holiday for like a really, like, I don't know, a few days to a week and a half, 2 weeks, and you say, okay, I'm going to do something. And then you just never land up doing it and you're like, I'll do it next time. But since we only have like such a small amount of time, you know, I think sometimes it's those times when you don't have a lot of time that you jam pack like whatever you can. And so it's like the first time we're actually doing the sand dunes. And it's so ironic that it's always the times that you don't have a lot of time that you really make the most of it. And it's often like super enjoyable. So we're really having a great time. We can only check into our place at 3, so literally we've got the whole day ahead of us. And because we've got a car, it's perfect. We don't have to lug our suitcases around, or suitcase. And so yeah, good nice. Probably the only crazy people that actually like walk on the beach without full closed shoes. Most people would take their shoes off, but I really don't like the feeling of the sand on my toes and then getting into a car. It's not my favorite. So that's why we go on the beach with our closed shoes. George often takes his off, but we're just walking today, so there's no point. Quite chilly as well, so I'm not going to go in the water. So nice to just walk.
It's the Atlantic seaboard, so it's quite cool and cold here, the water.
Yeah, it's the coolest side. A little chill in the air, but it's nice and warm in the sun. After lunch, we took some time and just walked on the beach together. Even though we are having a fairly busy day, we always try and just prioritize those quiet and peaceful moments. You don't want to sound cliche, but it really can be those moments on a holiday where you just stop for a bit, take it all in, and that seems to be the thing that you remember most fondly. After our walk, we decided we were going to go check into our place, and this is a mini tour of what the place that we stayed at looked like. This is a little bit of what our place looks like. Just a general little bathroom. Really cute little room. I've checked in within the last hour. And I've got now all of my running clothes on because we're going to go do a run. I said to George, literally, if we do not go for this run in the next 5 minutes, I'm not going to want to go because I'm just going to lie down because I'm so tired from the week. I'm literally just going to want to sleep. So if we don't go now, then it's not going to happen. So we're gonna go do runs. We've got like sprints to do today, so it's not too bad. But yeah, it's kind of a little bit of a weird feeling. We were supposed to run the marathon tomorrow, but we didn't sign up in time. And so we've got our flights, we've got our accommodation. We're not running the marathon. And so now we're gonna go do some sprints along the same route that we would have run tomorrow. So yeah. The next day, in honor of the marathon that we were supposed to be running, we decided we were going to go do a long run in any case. So even though we ran the night before, we got our shoes on and went for our long run in the morning. Obviously, we stopped by to see the marathon, but we did do our own course in the end.
So my parents decided to also join us for this trip down for Cape Town, but they only arrived in the evening and were staying a lot longer than we were. But they had FOMO when they found out we had delicious burgers at this restaurant, and so we had to go again, and it's like Groundhog Day with us. For the remainder of the day, we decided we were all going to go take a nice drive and see the views, and then before we knew it, it was time to pack up our things and go to the airport.